Welcome to the video lecture on microcontroller and embedded systems lab. Today we will be discussing program 4. So this program is to add an array of 16-bit numbers and store the 32-bit result in internal RAM. That is, we have to add 16-bit numbers which are stored in an array, and we have to store the result in the memory location. So we have taken 16-bit numbers. There are 6 numbers here. You can see here. These are the 6 numbers, and their sum is equal to 29997 in hexadecimal. So our final result is 29997, which is available in a memory location. So in our program, we have used an assembler directive DCD. This assembler directive allocates one or more words of memory aligned on 4-byte boundaries. So that means we have used DCD assembler directive. This example, you see this example, DCD is an assembler directive. Mask is a memory location what we have declared here, and the value assigned to the memory locations is 0000FFFF. This is a 32-bit number or 4 bytes number. So they are stored like this in the memory location. They are stored mask 0. The lower byte will be there in mask 0. The next memory location FF. In the third memory location we have 00. Fourth memory location we have 00. So this is how they are stored in the memory location. See, we have also used one more assembler directive in our program, that is DCW. So DCW assembler directive, it allocates one or more half words of memory aligned on 2-byte boundaries. So here it occupies 2 memory locations because size of each memory location is 1 byte. So therefore it occupies 2 memory locations because the size of the data is half word or 16-bit or 2 bytes. Here value is an array declared DCW, defined constant word. It's an assembler directive used here. So we have taken 6 half words here. In the memory they are stored like this: value 0 and value 1. The first 2 numbers are occupied, and the next memory locations, the next 2 numbers. Like that, you can see every half word will take 2 memory locations. So this program here, as usual, we are having 2 things here: assembler directives and instructions. Not 2 things, there are 3 things: assembler directives, we have instructions, and we have labels. All these are assembler directives. Okay, all these which are written in black are instructions, and all these which are written in blue are labels or name of the memory locations. Okay. See, this area, as I explained in my previous program, area assembler directive, it instructs the assembler to assemble a new data or code area. Here it is a code area because this attribute, this is an assembler directive, this attribute defines that this is a code area. That code area is read only. By default, of course it is read only, or explicitly we can mention using an assembler directive read only. You have an entry assembler directive, it mark the first instruction to execute. That is, our first instruction starts from here. This is the first instruction to be executed. And start and end assembler directives are used to indicate the start and end of the file respectively. So in our program, we have to add an array of 16-bit numbers. That array has 6 numbers. So therefore, we have to initialize a counter. Here, R5 acts as a counter. So therefore, R5 is copied with 6. So 6 is copied into R5. That is because n is equal to 6. We have R0 holds the sum. Initially, R0 is equal to 0. Initially, R0 is equal to 0. LDR R1, comma, equal to value. This instruction will load the address of the memory location value into R1. The address of memory location value into R1. So R1 has the address of value. That means value 0 here. The value 0 in our previous slide, the value 0, the address of this is now available in R0. Available in R1, not R0, sorry, it is R1. This instruction here, LDR R2, comma, inside the bracket R1, comma, #2. This is an indirect addressing mode. This will copy 2 bytes of memory location. Sorry, 2 bytes of data from the memory location into R2. 2 bytes. That is, this will copy these two numbers, 1111, 1111 into R2. Okay, that means R2 has the first 16-bit number. Here we are using a mask. Mask is already defined. Here you see mask is defined as a 32-bit number here. So 0000 FF is a mask. So that mask is copied into R3. So R3 has a mask. Then you perform an AND operation between R3 and R2. What is there in R2? Our 16-bit number. R3 has a mask. After the AND operation, the result is stored in R2. Here what we are doing is mask the most significant 2 bytes, most significant 16 bits. Okay, so here you see this slide here. So here R3 has this mask. This is a mask we have used. And R2, R3. Here R3 has a mask. You can see the binary equivalent of this mask. Then R2 is our number, the 16-bit number. I have taken here this 16-bit number 0x3333. Okay. So you are copying, you see our first instruction in here, this LDR R2, comma, this is a memory location. Here we are copying 16-bit number into R2. So R2 has our 16-bit number here. This is the 16-bit number I have taken. So in this, R2 is a 32-bit register. But this number is 16-bit number. 16-bit number is copied into a 32-bit register. Okay, that means this 16-bit, you see here, the binary equivalent, this 16-bit occupies the lower 16-bit of R2. But what will be there in higher 16-bit of R2? Because we have not copied anything to that. Some junk value will be there. Here I have taken as X, 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 because they are don't care values. They are nothing but junk values. The upper 16 bit in R2 are junk values. The lower 16 bit are the contents which are copied from memory location. Now you perform the AND operation, bitwise AND operation between these two. After performing bitwise operation, we are just masking these bits. You see here, we are just masking the upper 16 bits of R2. So we don't know what are these values, because in the R3 all these values are 0, 0. After the AND operation you get 0, 0, 0, 0 till here, because 0 and any other number is equal to 0. Similarly here, after performing AND operation, you get these numbers. See, as it is you get these numbers. That will be again stored in R2. After performing an operation, the result is stored in R2. So our R2 has this number. What we have done at the end, we have just cleared the higher 16 bits in R2 and lower 16 bits, which is nothing but our 16-bit number, is retained as it is. So this is what is the use of these two instructions here. Okay, so R2 we have the 16-bit number with the higher 16 bits are masked. Now you perform the addition here. What is there in R2? What is there in R2? R2 has our 16-bit number. R0 has 0 initially. So 0 plus our 16-bit number, both are added and result is stored in R0. So R0 has a result now, partial result is. Here sub S has what it does. This is a you have a prefix here. Yes, conditionally we are optionally we are setting the conditional flags. Okay, so sub S instruction will modify the contents of the flag. So what I am doing here is R5. So I am subtracting 1 from R5. That is basically I am decrementing the counter. It is initially 6. Now after the execution of this instruction, it becomes 5. So the new value of R5 is 5. Okay, you compare whether the R5 is 0 or not. That is, you are checking whether you have reached the last number or not. If not reached to the last number, or in other words, if R5 is not equal to 0, then loop. That is conditionally jump to this instruction again. What you are doing again? See, after the execution of this instruction, first byte you have already fetched from the memory. This 2 is nothing but post increment. That means first copy the data into R2, then increment the pointer. So pointers are incremented here. Pointers are incremented from here, from value 0 to value 2. So this is a pointer. So now what we are doing, we are copying the second number. We are copying the second 16-bit number to R2. Again you are masking. Okay, here masking. What is that we are doing? We are masking the upper 16 bits numbers in R2. That is our second number. After performing that, you are adding your second number with the first number here. Okay, second number with the first number, and copy the partial result into R0. Then subtract. Okay, here subtraction. What you are doing here? Decrement the counter value by 1. So decrement the value of R5 by 1. R5 was 5. Now after the execution of this instruction, it becomes 4. The new value of R5 is 4. Again compare here. So R5 is not equal to 0. Loop here. So this loop is repeated how many times? 6 times, because there are 6 numbers. At the end of that, what happens is R5 becomes 0. When R5 becomes 0, this is not true. This becomes false. Okay, that means zero flag will set there. So this flag will, okay, zero flag will set. This is not true. This instruction is not true. So it will come out from here. The loop is terminated and next instruction following B and E will be executed. Now what I am doing here in these two instructions is I am simply storing the result into the memory location. Where is my result present? R0. That I am copying into this memory location. Which is that memory location? Whose address is in R4. What is there in R4? R4 has the address of the memory location result. That we have done here. See here. We have already declared result using DCD and we have initialized that with a 0. Okay, and it is written under the read-write part of data. Read-write part of the data because we have to write the result after the execution of the program. So after the execution of the program, the result is overwritten. So new value of result will be the sum of this, the 16-bit array addition. Okay, so in our example, it will be this one, 29997. Hexadecimal 29997 will be available in R0 as well as it's available in result. So you can see here we have declared a mask here and we also declared an array here. Value is an array, mask is one. Mask is also declared. Here mask is declared as 32-bit number, whereas value is declared as a 16-bit number, that is using awkward. So these two are coming under read-only part because we are not modifying this, okay, after the execution. But this part, result, comes under read-write part. That is why using area we have declared this data part using this assembler directive declared. This data part is read-write part because we are writing the result into this memory location called result. Okay, so at the end the result is available in this memory location called result and it's also available in R0. So let us see the execution of this program using Keil. As you know, we have to create a project. I'll create a project. This is program 4. I'll create a project in the name of program 4. Save it. I am using LPC2148. This is, I am selecting my processor. So we are using LPC2148. Select it. Click on OK. Here click on No. So we have created the project. Next, create an ASM file or assembly file. I have already typed and copied. I am just copying here. Okay, this is my program. You have to just type here the program. Then save it. I'll give the name as P4 with an extension .asm. P4.asm is my file. Save it. It's already saved here. Next is add the existing file. Add. Click on here. Click on this. Right click on this. Add existing files to group source group 1. Click on this. Click on this option. Add existing files to group source group 1. So we have to add our file. We have given a name p4.asm. p4.asm. This is a file. ASM source file. p4.asm. Add you can see here it is added. The next step is build project, build target. You can also use this button, build target. See here, no error, no warning. Next, debug, start debug, click on OK. You see you just started the debug. See the register contents, all are zeros here. Then run the program, then stop debug. Sorry, so start debug, run the program, then stop. Okay, so here the program is executed. After the execution, we can see the result is available in R0. As I mentioned, the result will be 29997H. 29997H. It's available here. Okay, and all other register contents we can see. So the result is also available in the memory location. Which is that memory location? The memory location address is available in R4 as per our program. Okay, as per our program, you can see here this code. As per this code, we are loading the address into R4. So therefore, the address of the memory location is this 40000000. How to see the content of the memory location? Go to View, select Memory Windows. In that again, select the option Memory 1. You can see here, that is, go to Memory Windows, Memory 1. Now you can see this here. It is 4000. You have to just type here 0x 400000. That is 4 followed by 7 zeros. This is the address of the memory location. Address of the memory location. So it's available here. You can see the memory layout here. See the contents of the memory location. You can see here it is stored here. The lower byte, the first lower byte 97 is here. Next lower byte, that is 99. Next lower byte 02, and the most significant byte 00. So they are stored list. So the result is available in R0 as well as memory location. So you can execute this program and you can see the result. Thank you all.